Hi everyone, welcome to QA Junction Playwright Automation Learning Video 4. In this video, we are going to learn about the locators and how we can use it in Playwright. As we already know the importance of locators, it helps us to perform the action on web elements. So actions includes click, fill, text content, all text contents and hover. So you already know click is nothing but to click on the web element like buttons, checkboxes and all. Fill is nothing but to type down the input in some input fields, and text content is to grab the text of that web element, and all text contents is to grab the text of all the web elements. So this one will gonna be one of the famous interview question. They will ask you the difference between web element and web elements. So you need to be very confident while answering. So you can say that web elements refers to different HTML properties, whereas web element refers to the single HTML property. So we can discuss it in this lecture moving forward. And hovering is nothing but to move the cursor like this. So I am moving my cursor to Facebook. So hover the cursor on the particular web element or anything as per the desired test case. So Playwright suggests us to use CSS, but we can write CSS locator and XPath locator. Both Playwright will support, but it's suggested to use as the CSS locator. In this video, we are going to learn how to write the both locators. So first, let's discuss about CSS locator. So today we are going to perform a login functionality test case. We will type email ID here and we will type password here, and then we will click on the login button. So we need to fill the input here. So how can we do that? With the help of locator, right? So we need to either write CSS or write the XPath. So let's see. Just right click and inspect. DOM will be displaying when you click on inspect. So here you can see it is highlighting. So there are different HTML properties here. So for CSS there are shortcuts. So if there is an ID in your HTML property, you can directly use hash and the ID value. And if it's a class, then you can use tag name dot class value. So these are the shortcuts. If these both are not available, then you can write your customized CSS, which is tag name attribute equal to value should be enclosed in single quotes. So all good. So let's see. So here we have ID, right? So just take the value of ID, and when you are in the elements tab, just press Ctrl F so that you can validate your XPaths are correct or not. So what I said, if there is a ID, I need to just include hash before the ID value. So you can see when you hit enter, it will be highlighting this email field, and it is also saying 1 of 1. So let's go to our Visual Studio Code. We have already discussed in our last lecture. So it will open the browser and then load this URL, and Facebook page will be getting displayed. So after displaying the Facebook page, what we will do, we are doing login functionality, right? Let me write it in comments. So first, before doing every step, we need to write await, that is compulsion, await page.locator, and here in double quotes just paste that path which we just CSS which we just fetched, and here dot you need to click, so it is auto suggestive, you can even select from here. That's it. So if we click, what it will do is it will only click, but we want to type down the email here, right? So for typing down the email we will use fill method. So here you can write qg any test email test, so I am giving some test random data, ignore it. So next step is we need to type the password, right? Just click on this icon and hover your mouse. So this is the HTML attribute for password. There is ID here. So as I already told you, if there is a ID, you can use this shortcut for CSS. Let me just show you. Just copy the value of ID and paste it after hash. You see, one of one element is matching. So I will just use this, and in for the login button I will show you how to write XPATH, because this one is easy, right? Why to waste our time? Await page.locator, and this term fill the password, q any password, and then we need to click on this login button. Just inspect and it will open the HTML properties. So there is totally the different, you can use ID for CSS, but this time we are going to write XPath. So let's write XPath then. Let me show you the syntax for XPath. It is / tag name @attribute equal to value. So you don't need to give this. So it is quite opposite to this customized CSS. So here we are not giving any slashes and at the rate, but in XPath we will give it. So let me just show you. So here the tag name is button, so you need to write button and you need to select any of this. So I am writing the tag name @attribute is name equal to, what was the value of that name attribute? It's login. You see, one of one is matching. This is how we write XPath. One is tag name, which is button, name is attribute, and login is the value. You can use any attribute or any value, but only thing you need to do, be careful, is like the value should be enclosed in single quotes. So let me just copy it and use it in our test case. Await page.locator, and this time we are using XPath, right? So we can't fill in the login button, right? So only action we can perform on login button is click it. So let's execute this test case and see what is happening. You already know the command, right? Just let me show you once again how to write the command. npx playwright test. So when you hit this command, it will execute each and every test case from the tests folder. But if you want to execute only individual test case, then you need to write the path of the test case. So npx playwright test space tests slash facebook.spec.js. so this is under test folder. That's the reason we wrote tests slash the file name which we want to execute. Hit enter and let's see. It will open the Facebook and type that email, password and click on login button. Browser got opened and you see it is so speed that you can't even see, and it is also saying that our test case has failed. Let's check. So it is saying we can't perform the fill action on password. Let's check the step by step. You can see each and every problem detailedly because by default it will provide the HTML reporter, so no need to worry if some test fail came across. So it is saying that element is not an input text area or element call log. So let's check once again. So you see, so we need to use this one because this one is not correct. That's what Playwright is suggesting, right? So let's try with this one, this value. I am removing this and giving this. Let's save it and execute the same command. This time it will successfully pass. You see, it is passed. You can also view the report from here. Just hit enter after pasting this command which Playwright gave us. You see, it successfully opened Facebook and it filled email, password, and it also clicked on the login button, and it is also showing us the screenshot. That's great, right? So this is our failed test case. So don't worry when you came across with the failed test cases because you can clearly see where it is failing and the CSS which we gave wrong. This is our past test case and everything is all right. That's great. So we need to also discuss the text content. So let us grab the text of this login. Let me just inspect and fetch the HTML properties of it. You see, they give this text, right? So what I will do is I am copying this same step, and instead of click I am using dot text content. So if you want to print this text content in output, so just write console.log before the step, and now you can see after executing the test case, it will just perform all these three actions, and also it will grab the text of that web element and it will paste it in output. Slowly we are diving into the JavaScript concepts. So one is console.log, which is used to print the output in our terminal. So we will focus more in upcoming lectures, so don't worry about JavaScript. Just let's execute our test case. So it should open Facebook and perform all these three actions, and also it should grab the text of that login button and paste it in output. Let's see. It's loading. You see, it is showing the text. That's what text content we are using, and I already told you text content is only for web element. So login is only one web element in this whole page. You can see that's what web element is. So web elements, maybe if there are more than 2 or 3 logins, that will be web elements. So you can give this example in your interview. So we have discussed pretty much about all this. Hover is nothing but we can write that step in Playwright. Await page.locator, let's say login only. I am copying this. And this time I don't want to click it, I just want to hover it. So there is inbuilt here, just click on it and that's it. So what it will do is, instead of clicking this login button, it will just go and stop here. It will just hover the mouse cursor, it will not click. If you want to see the demo, I can show you. Let me just comment out this click functionality, because when we click it is navigating to other page. And let me just execute the test script. So this time it will just fill up the email, password, and it will grab the text, put it in output, and it will just stay there. It will just hover our mouse cursor to login. So it is bit speed, you can't see, but you can see it in your test report. Playwright is speed when compared to all other automation tools. So it is opening the report for us. Let's wait. Here we go. It is successfully hovered and took these milliseconds. Also showing us the screenshot and all. This is Playwright for us. So thank you. Keep practicing the CSS, so that you will be very fast in writing your own customized XPaths and CSS. Thank you very much.